This meeting will now come to order. Good evening, everyone. And just as a preface, this is our second last Sync meeting. For anyone who is not aware of that, we do have another Sync meeting after this next one. So this isn't our last, so I won't give my final words and everything, but they're coming. Get ready. All right, we're going to begin the evening by utilizing open forum. And as we do so, I expect we'll have some chapter visits. So anyone is now able to present through open forum. Please give them your attention.
Hey y'all, well, hopefully you know me. My name's Hope, and I just have the pleasure of introducing my candidate for SGA President, John David Matthews. You also should know him, hopefully. But I just wanted to say that I'm really excited to be supporting JD this week. I think we can all say that we've really seen him lead in this room and just take student feedback and run with it, and that's just a really exciting thought for him as he potentially could step into the president role. And I just want to say that I'm super confident in him in that. I've also just been able to walk every step of this process with him as his campaign manager, and it's been really cool to just see his desire to serve Auburn and make it a better place. And I also did want to say, like, Jake, we love you too, and so like either way, and Josh, if he's here, but like we're so excited for like whoever is going to step into president. They're all incredible, and it's going to be super cool. And so I'm going to let JD talk a little bit.
Yeah, thank you, Hope. I'm not going to come up here and hammer y'all down with trying to sell myself. I hope I did that this past year as my term, showed y'all my leadership and my work ethic. All I'm going to do is just hit a couple of my platform points. First, like health and well-being is one of my main things. I think creating a daytime parking zone at the rec would be huge for students, getting them out of their apartments, getting them to go work out during the day, and make it a risk-free getting a ticket. Second, safety and inclusion. I think we're doing great as a university on our recruitment, but I think there's always room for improvement. I think us making sure that we increase efforts for a well-rounded and diverse student body is huge and would make this university an exceptional one. And then finally, it's the student experience. And then the main thing with that is just football tickets. I think that you as a student should be able to transfer your football ticket to whoever you want, to your friend, instead of putting it back in the lottery. But that's all I got to say up here. I'm not gonna. I know we got a lot of speakers and a lot of chapter visits. So that's all I'm gonna say. Come out and visit me on the concourse if you want to hear more about my platform. But I've had a blast hanging out with y'all this past year and doing work with y'all. Thank y'all.
Thank you, John David.
Hey all, I just wanted to take a second to introduce you. My candidate for SGA President, Jake Haston. Jake's done a great job this year leading this room, but he's also done something which has been really cool to me. He's kind of taken me under his wing this year and taught me a lot about the Senate process, but also to life in general, and just been a huge mentor to me. I'll let him talk more about his points, but I just wanted to introduce you all, Jake.
And I just wanted to quickly say, in the past year that I've gotten to know Jake, I've understood one thing about him. He's a hardworking, he's a selfless person, and I know that he's the right man for the job, and hopefully that you can help me support him this week.
Hey y'all. I hope all of y'all know me by now. My name's Jake. But I do just first off want to thank all of y'all for this incredible year in Senate. I've really enjoyed it, and I've enjoyed the work, but what's made it special has been the people. And so I just want to say I've really enjoyed getting to know each and every one of y'all. I'm excited for the group that will be coming back for Senate next year. Y'all are going to do a great job leading this university. But with that being said, my platform is going to consist of 4 key points. It's going to consist of student life, social advancement, SGA changes, and academics. And so one point that I'll tell you all about, and then we can all sit back down, because I know there's going to be a lot of these, but is about a point within the SGA changes portion of my platform, and it would be instituting a branch of SGA that would be focused on kind of volunteering and kind of like a manpower branch. And so for that, it would be utilized for our bigger events like Hay Day, Shaker Distribution, and Welcome Week. And so with that, this way, if a student goes out for forum, if they go out for cabinet and they don't get it, they would be able to be a part of this organization. I hate it when people go out for a forum their freshman year and then they never think about SGA again, or they hate SGA because they have bad sentiment to it from that one memory they have. So this would be an opportunity for students to still get to serve Auburn through SGA in a different way. And hopefully it will keep more great leaders on this campus involved in SGA in some way. But that's really all I'm going to say tonight. I hope you do come see me on the concourse, whether that's just to chat in general or to talk about my platform. But I just want to thank y'all again, and I hope you join me. Thanks, y'all.
As the next member comes to speak for open forum, I'd like to just announce that I sent out a Zoom link, but you do not need to join that until we begin voting.
Hey y'all, I'm Bennett. I'm so excited to talk to you guys about my candidate for SGA Vice President, Brandon Belser. I met Brandon during the Miss Homecoming campaigns last fall, and he has been a mentor for me ever since. He tells me all about different organizations on campus he thinks I would enjoy, and I hope you guys support him as well.
My name is Vincent Indovina, and I will be supporting Brandon Belser for SGA Vice President because I've seen not just the heart that Brandon has for Auburn, but for people as individuals.
Yeah, so I'm Marilyn Ann Cloverhouse, and I have the honor of being Brandon's campaign manager for the upcoming election. I met Brandon during heyday, and I can't wait to see his involvement past SGA elections, his heart for Auburn, just a passion for service, and he has his platform that he's going to talk about next.
Absolutely. Hey, I know we're going to be here for a minute tonight because of me, so I'm going to keep this really, really concise. But with three current orders, but my campaign is called Bold, Bright, Belser, and it's basically about how we need to sort of invest in bold and bright visions for Auburn's future. This is SGA's 100th year, the 125th year of the GLOM, and our 150th year is the Lane Grant. And so as we sort of reflect on what the first 100 years of SGA looked like, we need to think about what we want the next 100 to look like. And so my first point, bold, is talking about military students. I come from a military background myself, and I've lost a family member in the line of duty, and so making sure that we advocate for our military students is something that's first and foremost for me. Read details tomorrow. My second point, bright, is about graduate and professional students. We wouldn't be able to have our education, the quality of education we have without those students, and so I really want to work, whether it's organizations, healthcare, all different types of things, parking, that they need to have worked on in Senate, so that we can make sure we continue to advocate for every single member of the Auburn student individually before we advocate for unified Auburn. So I hope to share more with you guys this week, and I hope you're bold and bright as Belser. Thanks.
Thank you. Just a reminder, please give them your attention. Would anyone else like to use open forum?
Sullivan Engineering. It's my dad joke tonight. So obviously this week I'm supporting Kylie Madner for Miss Auburn. She's running a line of the creed that says, I live in a sound mind, a sound body, a spirit that's not afraid. So she's kind of wrapped her whole entire platform around that. But really, the reason I'm up here supporting Kylie is that she's one of my best friends since I've gotten to Auburn. I've gotten to serve with her in a lot of different ways, and I've never been anything but less than impressed by her poise and her grace, how much she cares about Auburn. It's literally one of those things that one of the times I first met her, I was like, I can't imagine anyone else I've met at Auburn being Miss Auburn besides Kyla. So she's blown me away. I'm sure she's done that all year for y'all, but Kyla Madner.
Okay guys, second year engineering, I guess I'll continue that. I have had the honor and privilege of serving as Kyla's campaign manager this election season. I've gotten to see firsthand how much Kyla cares about Auburn, and specifically this week, Auburn's Student Counseling and Psychology Services. We're really excited to advocate for the resources to be more available and accessible to all Auburn students. I've also gotten to hear a lot about Kyla's personal experience with mental health, which you'll hear about a little bit later this week, and she definitely knows that how much strength it takes to seek help for those issues, and she never wants any Auburn student to feel alone. So we've all got to see Kyla's Code of Law chair, Code of Laws chair, and her excel in those duties. I can assure you that the hard work and the dedication she's put into this campaign has been nothing but impressive. So, and I know she'll carry all of those qualities into her time as Miss Auburn, so that's why she's my Miss Auburn candidate.
Awesome. Good evening, everyone. My name's Colin, in case you didn't know that. I'm actually helping on Kai's campaign. Was one of the top 5. I was very fond of her points she's trying to make, trying to advance the student counseling and psychological services. I'm very fond of that point that she's trying to make, but also trying to get more counselors in variety of numbers. And then I also see a lot of professional qualities in her that I saw in my sister, who was one of the previous Miss Auburn's here. And I think that at times being a senator is something that can be very advantageous to Auburn as well.
Hey guys, my education. First and foremost, I just want to say how honored and thrilled I am to be a Miss Auburn candidate, and a lot of my gratitude goes out towards you guys, because I can honestly say that if it weren't for my experience in this room and for all of you being a part of that experience, I'm not sure if I ever would have had the confidence to pursue something like this. So thank you all. But moving a little bit deeper into my platform and giving you a little bit more of a personal background as well, I'm going to walk you back with me to my freshman year at Auburn, and by that point I had been struggling with disordered eating for several years. And I can honestly say that if it weren't for Auburn Student Counseling and Psychological Services, I'm not sure if I ever would have been able to kind of put my pride aside and gather that strength and courage that it took me to finally seek that professional help. And so this week, with this amazing opportunity to spread a message across campus, I just want every single student to know what's available to them, while also advocating for the improvement of what's available to them. So we're all pretty feedback oriented as senators, but I have heard from a lot of students that they've chosen not to initiate or follow through with an experience utilizing the resources that we have because they know it's going to take over a month to get in for an appointment, or they didn't have the best experience whenever they did utilize it and they kind of just didn't go any further than that, or because they know that they're limited in their amount of free sessions that are available to them. And so kind of just shining a spotlight on those areas of improvement that I know that we can make as an Auburn family is something that I really want to focus on, because I think we can all agree that every single member of the Auburn family deserves not just a chance to seek help, but a substantial one at that through this university that we all love so much and give so much to. So I hope this week, whenever you hear You Matter with Mathner, you will also feel the hard work and the commitment that is behind all of these goals that we are trying to accomplish. Thank you guys, and War Eagle. As of course you all know me, I'm Casey. Coleman has been one of my absolute best friends since I stepped foot on campus. She has shown me literally everything, how to get everywhere in DC, how to navigate Senate, how to make friends in lobby board, and how to be a good person. You know, when we sat down, she sat down on my back porch in a little bean bag, and she looked at me and she was like, okay, what does this look like for me running for vice president? And we sat and talked about it. And the big thing that she wanted to hone in on in true Coleman fashion that represents her platform is she's going to tell it to you straight. She's going to tell you exactly what she's thinking and exactly how she wants to show this university like how we can improve. And so the main part about her platform that I love is that she's not up here to give you a bunch of elaborate plans and ideas that will never be fulfilled, but she's going to focus in on the things that the projects that you've been working on all year long and make sure that those come to fruition. And that's why I'm representing Coleman.
Hey, it's me, Ashley. I'm representing Coleman as well. Our platform is centered around productivity, transparency, and advocacy. This year I've had the pleasure of serving with Coleman on the Code of Laws Committee, so she knows her stuff. We've had the opportunity to do great work this year, and she has the legislative experience, and I know she'll excel in this role, so I'll keep it short. Let Taylor speak, and then I'll let Coleman take her spiel.
Hey guys, so I've never spoken in front of you all before, but my name is Taylor, and I have the privilege of supporting Coleman on this campaign and meeting the need with her next seat this week. I've gotten to know Coleman super well through a few things we're involved in, and also we were podcast together, which really just showed me her heart for everyone and the university as well. And I've loved being able to support her on this platform of productivity, advocacy, and transparency. This is the scariest I've been for any of these chapter visits, but I'm Coleman. I'm running to be your next SGA Vice President, and the reason I decided to run
and why it took me so long to run and decide was because this is what I want to do. This is the branch I wanted to be a part of. I have the legislative knowledge and the experience in order to bring Senate and allow us to make projects and progress for SGA as a whole. Why am I so scared? I'm sorry. My platform's focused around productivity, advocacy, and transparency because I want my platform to be all about you and all about the students that you represent. I want us to make projects that we actually fulfill. I want us to make progress. I want us to make change on this university and to continue on with the things that we've already done. This past summer, I had the opportunity to work in both the U.S. House of Representatives and the United States Senate, and being able to do this allowed me the chance to understand what it's really like to hear from constituents and to hear feedback and people who really needed help. I was able to truly immerse myself in the legislative experience, and I want to use this knowledge and these experiences to help further SGA and to help all of you reach your full potential as senators. I don't know what to say. I'm sorry. It took me a really long time to decide that I was going to run for VP. Because for a long time I just wanted to run for Senate again. But I had this quote that someone in my agricultural law class came and said. She worked for the Alabama Cattlemen's Association, and she said that if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. And I refuse to allow Auburn students to be on the menu because I want to stick up and fight for every single person, no matter how big or small, no matter how big or small the groups are, no matter what. I just want to be there for all of y'all and for all of them. That's it. All right. Thank y'all.
Hey y'all, my name is Spencer Dillon. I'm super excited to get to talk to y'all about my candidate for Miss Auburn, Gracie Grote. So I've had the privilege of being her campaign manager and just getting to know her through this process. It's really just been a special privilege. Like she's really so amazing. Like seeing her heart for Auburn firsthand has been awesome. Just seeing her like try to promote her platform and getting ready to do that this week. I'm just really excited about that. Her slogan is "Get Up with Grote," and that just kind of talks about who you get up for in the morning. So personally for me, I get up for my family. Like we've just had a lot of struggles the past couple of years that we've really kind of had to grow through as a unit, and that's just kind of helped me like be motivated, like to get up for my day and just serve them through every little action that I do. She'll kind of talk to y'all a little bit more about her platform, and she's really passionate about it, and so are we. So yeah.
Hey y'all, my name is Courtney Cooner, and I'm absolutely honored to be getting up with Grote this week. Gracie's campaign is centered around the line of the creed, which states, "I believe in a sound mind, in a sound body, in a spirit that is not afraid, and in clean sports that develop these qualities." Gracie's platform is not only tangible, but I believe it's something that would also impact Auburn students well past this week. And it is because of this that I'm getting up with Grote, but I'm going to let her tell you a little bit more about that.
Thank you guys. First, this is incredible being back in this room after I left last year, but had an incredible time. First, I just want to thank every single person in this room for this opportunity. Honestly, I couldn't do it without my Auburn family, and that includes each of you. Throughout this process and beyond, I want each of you to know that you do have a vital part on this campus, and so I want you guys to know that beyond this week. Truthfully, getting to know you guys, come see us on the concourse, but I would love to tell a little bit about my platform and my heart behind it. So like they said, my slogan is "Get Up with Grote," and throughout this week, we're going to be hitting on 3 initiatives, so Go, Grow, and Gather. Go is going into the community that we've been placed in on and off campus. We're all really blessed to be a part of a wonderful university. And I think when we unite and stand in this creed, like Courtney mentioned, we're able to do far much more than we could alone. So Go into your community is the first initiative, and then Grow is really getting to know yourself. This platform point is one thing that I want to get across to each of you, is to really get to know who you guys get up for in the morning, and I really hope it's something bigger than yourself, because then we are able to achieve the goals that we do set. And then the last one is Gather. So I am really into physical activity, and it's okay if you're not. But as your next Miss Auburn, I would host a 5K where you would run or walk for something bigger than yourself. So that's really my main goal throughout this week, is to get each of you to be more knowledgeable about who you are, so then you're more knowledgeable about who you live your day for. So throughout this week, I really hope you guys are getting up with Grote, but more so I hope that you guys get to know yourself better throughout this process and beyond. But thank you so much for having us here, and War Eagle.
Hey guys, thank y'all so much for having us tonight. My name is Ashton Hill, and I'm so excited to be leading the way with Renee this week with sexual assault awareness. I've gotten to know Renee for the past couple of years, and she's always been someone that I can turn to in times of trouble. She's been the best friend that anyone could ever have, and I'm just so grateful to have gotten to know her, and I know she'll serve this campus so well as Miss Auburn.
Hi everyone, my name is Ava. I am Renee's campaign manager, and I'm leading the way with Renee this week because of her hardworking ethic and her strong motivation and drive. Something I love about Renee is that she represents Auburn both on and off campus. On campus with the Royal Productions through Auburn Athletics, and recently she was selected as one of the only students in the country to work on video production for the Super Bowl, which I'm so proud of her for. So I'm so excited to introduce my Miss Auburn candidate, Renee Washburn.
War Eagle, y'all. My name is Renee Washburn, and I'm honored to be here and honored to be one of your top 5 candidates for Miss Auburn. It's been a dream of mine to be an Auburn woman ever since I became my pop's football buddy in kindergarten. So this whole experience has just been insane. So our platform is sexual assault awareness, which centers around the human touch stanza in the Auburn Creed. Everyone should feel supported, loved, cared for, and safe in the Auburn family. If anybody were to go through any kind of situation or traumatic situation like a sexual assault, we want to make sure that they know the resources available for themselves and their friends. Through Campaign Week and beyond, we're really looking at creating awareness and support for the existing amazing resources already on campus, while also leading with you guys and creating ideas, new resources, education, and safety procedures. So if you have any ideas, questions, comments, concerns, anything at all, please feel free to reach out to me or come find me on the concourse.
We will also be having a benefit day from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. on February 2nd at Mama G's, and all the money that we raise is going to Safe Harbor, which is a local or campus-like organization that helps sexual assault survivors. So thank y'all so much. We did bring y'all like a little goodie bag as a thank you. But we can't wait to lead the way with Renee this week. Bye y'all. Have a great night.
Okay, perfect size. Hey, y'all. Okay, so I was kind of just sitting there being like, what should I say? Because there's so many things I could say about Ann. But I'm going to tell a personal story. So Ann and I have always known each other. She's one of those people that you're like, when did we meet? I don't know. Like you just always known each other. You've always been best friends. And ran into her in Starbucks. What marketing? It was a marketing test. Which one was it? Like the second or third? And we were both freaking out because we like hadn't studied at all. So we crammed together. Ended up having like a huge GMC and not studying. I think we both got A's though, so whew, that's good. We just ended up talking, and she was telling me about her being on a campaign, and I was like, wait, are you not going to do Miss Auburn? Like, because it's just so that, and she was like, no, I mean, I could never do that. And I would say that honestly, like, in the best way, that is Ann's biggest weakness, is like she does not know how amazing she is, and she does not know how deserving she is, how amazing that she would do in that role. And through this week, I've honestly seen her grow to realize how amazing she is, and like, she's just grown so much as a person, y'all, and I'm so excited for y'all to hear about her platform.
Yeah, hey guys, so, sorry. So I'm also supporting Ann in her campaign to be the next Miss Auburn, and actually, I got to know Ann. She just reached out to me one day and asked if I'd want to be on her team, and I was like, sure. And so I went to her house and met her, and one of her big things is just making sure everybody feels included, and that's exactly what I felt like the first time I met her. I just felt super appreciated, and that she, really wanted to get to know me, and so that's just Ann. She's just awesome like that. So, yeah, let her.
One of the ways, I don't even remember the first time I met Ann. It was a while ago. I think it was like before I came to Auburn. But one of the main focuses of her platform this week is to work on the Auburn family and how it cultivates like such a community around us. And Ann has a way of making everybody who she's around feel just like family, even just by being her. She doesn't have to do much to make that happen. But she wants to use that to help people, to help empower people and help build confidence in people who have different kinds of disabilities so that they can help make their own kind of Auburn story. And I'll let her tell you all a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I truly just love Auburn and want every single person in the Auburn family to love it as much as we all do. I think the best way to make someone feel loved and cherished is by giving them the resources that they need to succeed and feel empowered in who they are as an individual. And so through this week we'll be focusing on accessibility, both emotional and physical accessibility this week. Through emotional accessibility, we'll talk about continued mental health initiatives, mentorship programs with colleges, and then also just cultivating vulnerable conversations on the concourse. And then through physical accessibility, this is something that's really personal to me and is what really drove my decision to choose this topic as a platform point. But through physical accessibility, I'll be focusing on providing more resources for students with hearing impairments, and then also more tangible resources and changes for students who are handicapped and creating more accessibility for them. So through that, we'll be highlighting the Office of Accessibility and the wheelchair basketball team. They'll be on the concourse this week. I really appreciate y'all taking the time to listen to me, hear a little bit more about my platform and why we're getting down to earth from this week. So thank y'all so much for your time. Have a great rest of your night. Before you go, y'all.
Hey y'all, I'm John Bowles. Thank you for sitting through all of these. We know we're taking a lot of your time. I'll try to keep it short. I'm here to introduce you to my sweet friend and Miss Auburn candidate, Olivia Belliette. I've had the pleasure of getting to know her through the FMA on campus as well as other organizations. And something that's really stood out to me about her is just her genuine heart for Auburn and her passion for service.
Hey y'all, my name is Peyton Fox. Again, here for Olivia. I've gotten to know her since freshman year, and just seeing how well she's served Auburn through her pan-Hellenic positions, through her time on Whiteby, and through literally everything else that she has done on campus, which is too numerous to name at this point. It's truly been inspiring. I've absolutely loved seeing how passionate she is about everything Auburn, but especially her platform.
Yeah, hey everyone, my name is Olivia Belliette, and I'm so honored to be one of your candidates for Miss Auburn. Thank you so much for letting us take some of your time tonight to come and talk to y'all. So a little bit about me, I'm a junior from Atlanta, Georgia, majoring in finance. I've been an Auburn fan my entire life, and so I'm so excited about this opportunity to potentially represent a place that means so much to me. My platform for Miss Auburn focuses on mentorship, specifically between students. I know for new students coming onto campus, learning about all the opportunities available can be overwhelming, and getting involved can be intimidating. I've been so fortunate during my time here to have had so many upperclassmen who have taken an active interest in encouraging me to get involved and offering advice and support. This mentorship has shaped my Auburn experience and has opened up so many opportunities that I never thought would have been possible. In the role of Miss Auburn, I would work to create more platforms for underclassmen to connect with older students involved in areas of campus they're interested in. This mentorship is something that every student can participate in and benefit from, and my hope is to increase the knowledge and accessibility of all different campus organizations. By living out this great value of mutual helpfulness on campus, I know that every member of the Auburn family can help support each other in reaching beyond what is possible on our own. So thank you so much for letting us come and talk to y'all. Please feel free to stop by our table on the concourse, learn more about my platform, and I just can't wait to share more about my platform and love for Auburn over the next week. Thank you all.
Okay, hey y'all, we're going to keep this quick, but we are here with Schools Council for the College of Engineering. My name is Camila Carlo. I'm the president of the College of Engineering Schools Council.
I'm Tyler Connor, and I'm the vice president of Engineering Schools Council.
We're just going to run y'all through kind of what we've done this year and over the past fall and spring. Obviously, y'all know our purpose is really just to create kind of a bridge between SGA and the College of Engineering, which I feel like we had a lot more success with this year than we have in the past, so we're really excited about that. Every event that we've done this semester, so we do our town halls each semester, where our dean of the college will come and kind of have a Q&A with the students. We'll have a director of different offices, so like our Office of Career Development and Corporate Relations will come. The manager for our Student Center, which is from Cocoa Engineering,
Achievement Center will come and answer questions for our students. And then we also will, you can go to the next slide, I'm sorry. So those town halls in the spring, it was virtual, but in the fall we were able to have it in person in our Student Achievement Center, which was really nice. And then we also had our Welcome Back Week, which Cupola Engineering Ambassadors helped team up with us to host that, and it was a lot of fun. We had Whataburger provide chicken biscuits for it, and we provided food for like 1,100 students, and we like ran out, and the rest of the days only provided food for like 200 students, so everyone really loved our day because we fed more. So that was really nice. All the offices like took note and are planning to adjust their numbers to what ours were in the future. And then we did the EPM Food Drive. We collaborated with them for what we called Canstruction, and so we had teams form, and they collected canned foods, and then they would build like a structure out of it to make it kind of engineering. So that was really cool. There's a picture of it on the next slide so that you'll see. And then for Spirit Week, same kind of thing as Welcome Back Week. They just kind of like to keep the energy high in College of Engineering like offices. So it was really nice. We got to do kind of a tabling event for the organizations to help get them new members and that sort of thing. And then coming up, our next event will be in February, and it's E-Day, which is where like 6th grade through 12th grade students will come from the areas around and learn about different types of engineering. And then these are the pictures. So that they won like a trophy with a plaque on it, and then it signed Bruce Pro basketball for winning Construction. And then we worked with Whataburger, which is really nice. And then there's one more slide, and Tyler's going to tell you all about our mentoring program.
So another part of our council, we do the alumni mentoring program. So we kind of focus on bringing more attention to it during our tenure. So we did a lot of videos. We hosted an event. We had Aubrey come out. We had inflatables, more free food as expected. And as we transition, instead of what we have currently where it's a 6-month-long mentoring process, we're doing more of like a one-stop shop where someone can come in as needed for alumni from the engineering program and kind of connect. So from now on, we're kind of working on that transition after us, and we're going to also be selling sweaters for our council. So thank you for being here.
Thank you guys. Have a good night.
Thank you. That was a phenomenal presentation. Would anyone like to use, anyone else like to utilize open forum at this time?
Hi guys, I'll keep it super quick. My name is Chris Darling. I'm running the SGA treasurer. My platform centers around better promotion of our existing services and more accessible financial knowledge. Thanks so much for all and welcome to the conference.
Thank you. Congratulations. All right, I believe this will conclude our open forum for the evening. Thank you all for your attention. I genuinely appreciated that. I think all the candidates felt very listened to. We're going to move into reports of officers and standing committees, and we will begin with a report from Mr. Grella.
Hey guys, just a couple more reports for me left. I'll run through a little bit of business. I realized last week I did not give y'all any updates on the presidential search, even though there was a lot that went on over the break. So now that it's kind of, at least the search advisory committee has completed its responsibilities, I wanted to run y'all through essentially what has happened throughout the whole search. So first thing, a little fact for you, Dr. Gouge is both the 18th and the 20th president of Auburn University, and so this means that we were searching for the 21st president of Auburn University. That being said, we had the first thing that kind of happened was a 22-person like search committee was formed. I was the student representative on that committee, and that team started out by holding listening sessions. If y'all remember those from the fall, that's when people were able to come talk about what they thought was important in the next president. After that, we opened up applications and received 64 applications for the next president of Auburn, and reviewed every one of those applications, the committee did. So we went through, read all of it, and basically gave them an A, B, or a C. A being advanced, C being maybe don't advance. Through that, we were able to narrow it down to 15 candidates who were selected to have conversations in Atlanta. So that's the next step of the process. We went to Atlanta, held airport interviews, and were able to have an hour-long conversation with those individuals. And so an important thing to remember at this point, so people who are applying for this job, and at least those 15, were all sitting presidents, provosts, or deans of other impressive universities. And so with that being said, we passed on 5 after those conversations to the Board of Trustees Committee. One of those 5 withdrew their name from the process, leaving them with 4. The board interviewed those 4 people, and of those 4, 3 were selected on on-campus interviews. If you remember from a week or 2 ago, 3 candidates didn't come to campus, it was just 1 candidate who came to campus. That's because those other sitting presidents, provosts, and deans, if their boards of respective board of trustees for their universities were to find out that they were, looking for a job elsewhere, that can be grounds for termination, and has been many times across other schools in the university. So for those 2 candidates, finalists, who determined not to come to campus for the on-campus interview, that's basically them saying, unless you offer me this job and I know that I'm going to get it, I'm not going to risk having my board or my governing body find out that I'm applying for other jobs. So that being said, one of those 3 candidates accepted the invitation to on-campus interviews. That's Dr. Chris Roberts. I hope you all had a chance to speak with him last week. And so, if you'll notice, we have 1 finalist, but he has not officially been named president. Y'all can do math. And so, hopefully, he'll be our next president. That is pending. So, anyways, Dr. Chris Roberts, the engineering senators love that. He's the current dean of engineering here at Auburn. If you have any questions about that process, please just shoot me a text, ask me. I'd be happy to talk a little bit more about it. So yeah, that's my report for today. I'll see y'all next week.
Thank you. All right, Stephen has no report, so I will allow Ms. Molly to go.
Hey guys, super quick for outreach. We just have the career clothing drive coming up next week, so it's on Monday. I know all of y'all have business casual, business professional. Some of it you might not wear, maybe like a freshman year, this pair of pants that don't fit anymore. Definitely drop those off at one of the on-campus or off-campus clothing drive locations, and graphics will be posted later this week. And then also have a U10 first magnet, so if you did not get one 2 weeks ago when I brought them over here, good job, okay. Well yeah, I'll get passes out and that's it.
All right. I don't know why I thought you were still handing those out. Thank you, Molly. Michael doesn't have a report, neither does Tyler. I guess they'll save some final words for next week. So from there, we will move into our reports from our colleges. Today is College and Committee. We will begin with at-large.
You're going to see at-large. The only report we have is that scholarship applications are due tomorrow on April.
Thank you. Agriculture.
Morgan, agriculture, outdoors.
Business.
She's just so hard to walk in. Brown business. Okay, it's only 3 things, but I don't know if I forget. So we're kind of using campaign week to introduce ourselves and kind of just make our faces more known to business students so they're more likely to bring us feedback and know who to go to. If we are reelected, we also want to do something on the concourse outside of the business school so people know who to bring feedback to, because I think most students don't necessarily know. We're also focusing on right now how we can connect more with business school council and more work alongside instead of just catching up sometimes. And then we're also kind of, Nick and Ashton and I, our office hours, are kind of focusing on the tangibility of our campaign goals and what that's going to look like. And also, this is a campaign goal, but a bigger goal is getting more plugs and outlets in the louder lecture halls, because there's none. But I don't know, we don't know who to contact for that. Maybe the dean but working on that right now. So if anyone has any advice, let me know. Thanks.
Thank you. Next, we will hear from CADC.
Is our CDC to make a report?
Thank you. Go Sam.
Sam, no report.
Education.
Solid education, their report.
Engineering.
Second year engineering, only thing we have is we do have a math person, but not until the
Forestry and wildlife sciences.
Starling School of Forestry and Wildlife Sciences. So I do have a couple of things I just wanted to kind of round out my term with tonight. So first of all, our SGA advisor had reached out to the Director of Elections to kind of find out who might be stepping into the roles this next coming term. We did find out that Senator and President did not have anyone in the position, so we did begin our appointment process, and we have fulfilled both of those seats for the coming term. And so our current schools council has been meeting a couple times throughout the past 2 weeks to assemble our own transition material, since we will be getting a complete turnover. So I'll be giving them a couple of notes about my projects that I've undertaken this year, which have included my bird project, which has been my favorite. We're still waiting on that film to get in to come to the atrium windows, and I just wanted to say thank you to all of you senators for kind of putting up with me talking about the wacky bird stuff throughout the semester, and a bunch of you sent me pictures, and I've really appreciated that, of like other places on campus where that's been an issue. I just want to say thank you guys for getting involved with the wacky wildlife side of things. And then another project that I've worked on has been terrell dining, and that is honestly booming. Haven't gotten a single complaint about that since towards the end of fall semester. And I just want to say thank you to Lucy Brown. She's been incredible through that process. She was constantly getting feedback from me so she could give it to dining, and I don't think terrell would be up and running if it weren't for her help. And then the final project I worked on this semester was parking issues near the School of Forestry and Wildlife building. And I want to say thank you to Elizabeth DeBoer for helping with that, helping with graduate parking passes, and that's just been incredible. I don't know if you've seen it, but that parking lot that had all the issues looks like it is expanding to be as big as the nursing lot. So that's going to be great for forestry. I think we kind of just wore them down. They were tired of foresters parking on the grass when they told them not to. So yeah, that's just been it for me, and I just want to say thank you guys for allowing me to step into this role this semester. I know I've seen myself grow, and I've seen a lot of us grow just through the challenges that it's taken to be a leader and be a voice for our students. So thank you guys all for making this an incredible experience. And that's all. Keep taking pictures of birds. You're making a difference.
Thank you. Now on to the graduate school.
So, DeBoer Graduate School. Fortunately, I have my voice back a little bit more this week. So first of all, I just want to mention, obviously there's a resolution coming through tonight as a future order. It's been something that I've been passionate about since I first got involved with Graduate Student Council, which was back in 2015, 2016. So, it means a lot to me, so I'll wait and share more in the discussion after that's presented tonight. I just wanted to mention a few things like Senator Sterling did tonight with her report. I just want to say thank y'all. I really appreciated this last year. This is my last formal role as a student leader here at Auburn. So being this in my 13th year here, that's something all its own. I've learned a lot. I've kind of been on the outliers of SGA Senate since I started in graduate school. When I was an undergraduate student, I thought that SGA was something that was completely separate and nothing that I could be included in. So thank y'all for changing my mind on that. Things have changed a lot, of course, since I've been an undergraduate student, and I'm very happy to say that. So I hope for those of y'all who are running again, that you continue with all of the things that you're talking about this week. That continues on as you go into your next term or into a new role, because it does make a difference. I've seen in that, and every time that I presented something to the graduate students and professional students that I get to represent, and sometimes it's just a few people, but that matters. So I hope that that sticks with you. Another thing that has kind of come through as well is regarding student fees, and I remember speaking about this summer. Found out last week that there's a resolution through the faculty senate, through the university senate, regarding student fees and the increase that we saw this summer and the increases that we were going to see this coming year. The discussions have gone further than I've ever seen them. Our CFO for the university, Ms. Shoemaker, has actually gained a lot of passion for it and continues to have conversations with Dean Flowers to lower those fees for graduate assistants. And I'm really proud of that. And with that in mind, Graduate Student Council recognizes that there are two roles that are not being run for in the SGA elections, which is our president and vice president role for the school's council. So those elections will happen with the rest of our GSC executive board at the end of this month. So for those of you who are returning, you should see that come through. And that's everything. So with that, there's also one individual who's left running for the senator role for the graduate school. His name is Olamide. He's fantastic. I've gotten to meet with him. I pulled my name as soon as I got to meet with him because I know that he'll make a really big difference in this room. He's an international student. He's a master's student in biosystems engineering, and I think that he's going to offer a lot of really great perspective. So I hope that you listen to him the way that I feel that you listened to me this year. So with that, I'll just go to do. Thank you.
As we move from the graduate school to human sciences, I'll just remind everyone that this is not the last sentence. Okay, we're just making sure. Okay.
Williams Human Sciences. I apologize. My report isn't sentimental because y'all are what? Stuck with me for another year. So we had a Dean Advisory Committee meeting today, and progress is coming along on the new culinary building, as y'all know. But also, too, we talked about our college, like the Human Sciences College, the Tiger Giving Day project. If y'all remember last year, like the SGA one was the PhD Legacy Plaza, and I'm sure we will all do our part to promote whatever it is this year. But also, I encourage all of y'all to find out what your college is doing, because a lot of colleges have their own individual projects as well. Like for us, we are doing something with the Early Learning Center, that's right on Haley Concourse, and also creating a workshop for HBCU students from different parts of Alabama and I think even some parts of Georgia to come and see the new culinary building when it's open and learn about our master's programs in hospitality management. So yeah, I really just encourage y'all to see what your college is doing so you can better promote that, because we are senators for our college and that's what our constituents want. But yeah, there you go.
Thank you. After human sciences, we'll hear from liberal arts.
Belter, liberal arts, no report.
Now to nursing.
Second, nursing, no report.
Pharmacy.
Lease, pharmacy, no report.
And I believe Victoria is not here because she has an exam, but I checked in Zoom. All right, that will conclude the reports from our colleges for the evening. Thank you all. We will move into, before we move into committee reports, I just want to apologize. With all the chapter visits, I forgot to ask for the approval of the minutes. So I'll do that now. Those were sent electronically in the reminder email for this meeting. Did anyone have any additions or corrections to those minutes? All right, awesome. They are approved and corrected, even, out of order. All right, we will now hear from the Academic Affairs Committee.
McElroy, Liberal Arts. We're just kind of winding down a little bit in the Academic Affairs Committee, really just polishing up our transition materials, getting everything together. Again, like I said last week, if anybody has anything that they want to pass along to the next group, please don't hesitate to send it so we can put it in materials. And then we've got one resolution coming through today, thanks to Senator DeVore. That's it for us.
Excuse you, thank you. Next from Budget and Finance.
from UPC for a Chinese New Year event.
Thank you. Next to Code of Laws.
After education, really all we have is working on transition materials, so kind of the strategy that we used was I'm going over this terms box folder, and then everyone else in my committee has kind of split up between the last 5 terms work to see if anything pertinent can carry over into those transition materials, and then we're just going to make one organized document with everything on there. That's it.
Thank you to DEI.
Elsewhere, liberal arts, I echo my fellow senators, and I thank Senator Mathur for coming up and presenting that idea that you just said. I think it's really smart to divide that up. That's all I have.
Thank you. Student Affairs.
Matthews at large. Just kind of piggybacking off what I think the rest of the committee heads are saying, we're winding down, getting our transition materials in the box, and kind of like Gavin said, student affairs is kind of all over the place, all over campus. So if y'all have any wild, crazy ideas that you want me to pass on to the next committee head, send them my way. That's all. Thank y'all.
For the Executive Committee.
Sullivan Engineering. I know you're all super sad, but tonight, or this week, will be the last week of office hours, so we still have both college and involvement hours for 1 more week, which means we also have dining hours.
Yes, Jimmy, if you could pull up that link briefly. I know it's the last week and that y'all have clearly through campaign visits, chapter visits, we just saw a lot of you are involved in many things. This would be a time to talk about the role of Senate, the role of SGA, and maybe inform people that elections are this Friday. So if anyone is able, I would love to see some names pop up on the screen. You can raise your hand and express their abilities now. If not, the link will also be included in my recap email.
Thursday at 12.
Thank you, Artie.
I'll do Thursday, 5 to 6.
Also, if you're doing a dining office hour or any sort of formal college office hour, please do not be in a campaign shirt.
That. All right. Oh, yes.
Can I do Thursday 12 to 1?
Sure thing.
Wednesday 11 to 12.
My heart is exploding with joy. Yes.
I'll do Wednesday at 11 as well.
Wednesday, 11 to 12.
Oh, wait, we were 11 to 12. You can take on one? No,
Sorry, Ashley. Do you have any time that works?
Ashton, you want a different time block? No?
I mean, we're allotted 8 swipes a week, so I think it would be okay if he joined them.
There you go.
2 more, if anyone was able. And if not, it'll be sent to the recap email. So thank you all for your participation thus far.
All right, and then finally, the last Senate Exec meeting this Thursday morning at 8 a.m. Yes, it was super exciting. Gonna miss the early morning Thursdays come next week. But as I've said every week, especially if you are returning and interested in any sort of leadership within SGA Senate, I do think it is a great way to kind of get a feel for exactly what an exec meeting looks like, both in the good and the bad, see what we do well, what we do poorly, and kind of begin to formulate your thoughts on what you want your role to look like next year. And with that, if anybody's interested for either committee chair or pro temp, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I was never a committee chair, but I feel like I've worked with them well enough to perhaps have some knowledge on that. But thank you, that's all.
Thank you, Graf. We will now move into our reports from our liaisons, and we'll start with the Honors College. Honors Congress. I would say that.
Owens, Honors Congress Liaison. So, Honors Congress elections for officers will be this Wednesday, February 2nd, at the end being at 7 p.m. It will last all day. Last meeting, we discussed this and put up a file for each candidate and their platform and message to the organization. We are very excited to see the results and bring in our new exec team. We will also be having a philanthropy event at Storybook Farms on February 19th, as well as a Bark in the Park event on March 19th. More details will be announced about this soon. We will also have a movie night tomorrow night from 5:30 to 9:30, hosted by the Academic Committee in Mel 2510, if you guys want to come out. We have also promoted the Honors Ambassadors Program to our members and hoping to see a lot of them in that role next year as applications end February the 6th. Thank you and have a great rest of your week.
Thank you. Next we'll hear from BSU.
Evans, BSU. Today we had a great General Assembly. We had an involvement panel featuring the involvement ambassadors, UPC, Emerge, SGA, student recruiters. It was one of our better GAs, I would say. It was a great opportunity for people to, get future involved, I guess. Ask any questions they may have about applications, deadlines, all of that. So we usually have those once a year, and went great today. Our next GA, next Monday, will be extremely laid back. It'll be food, games, fellowship, so if anybody wants to come by and stop by, feel free. It will be in this room. And I mentioned pubbing last week about if you guys ever saw like anything about BSU related, fly by on Instagram. Feel free to reshare that, but also feel free to send anything you guys may have, you want us to reshare, because we will do it, because as you guys can probably guess, BSU has members within every college. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Now to Ms. Stewart.
Okay, Stewart for Student Veterans. How are y'all doing? Y'all doing fantastic. Okay, so not a lot to report, just a few things that I kind of want to circle back on. Somebody mentioned earlier about Tiger Giving Day. So of course, like, our organization will be participating in that, and the biggest thing we'll be promoting is rucksacks to backpacks. Basically, whatever funds that we collect will go towards veterans who are in need of like electronics, so laptops, iPads, things of that nature. I personally have benefited from that. They were able to provide me with a laptop when I needed one because mine crapped out. So super excited to be part of that. It's a little way off, but in March we're going to be having our golf classic. Yours truly will more than likely be singing at that event, so if you guys don't do anything else, it's going on. But it will be benefiting our organization, and if you're interested in like buying a tee, it'll be like a little flag that'll have like your name or organization that you're representing. Or if anybody is a golfer and they want to put together a little team and participate, you can do that as well. So if you're interested in doing either of those things, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. My email, for those of you who do not have it, is L as in Lima, D as in Delta, S as in Sierra 0024 at auburn.edu. And also it is a university approved excuse. So you basically get to go golfing for a day. Yeah. As far as our elections for our officers, we're doing things a little bit differently. We've had some circumstances that happened over the break that kind of caused us to push things back a little bit. So we won't be having our new officers coming through, or we won't be announcing them for at least another month. So it'll probably be like end of February, early March, we'll have our new officers and all that stuff, and you guys won't see me anymore. But other than that, that is all I have.
Thanks, Leah. And now we actually have, and I can say for the first time, ROTC, so if you just want to come up and say anything.
Hey, how y'all doing? Long ROTC, I think that's what I'm supposed to say. Nothing big to report really. We have a field meet against Tuskegee next Wednesday. We'll be going down to Tuskegee, competing some different ROTC drills, the O course, the rope climb, and things like that. See who really is the better ROTC wrench. Air Force also has an inspection tomorrow with their CO over their uniform, making sure that everything is fit. But that's all I have for the day. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. That will conclude our reports from liaisons for the evening, and we will now be moving into current orders of business. We'll begin with PSSB 22-131-01, presented by Brendan Belser, but authorized by Caroline County.
Belser, Liberal Arts. Miss Auburn Spring Election Interview Modernization. As for approval of the following, the preliminary qualification panel shall be composed of 5 members. The current elections advisor, the current SGA Executive Director of Elections, 2 students selected by the Executive Director of Elections, as approved by the Senior Vice President for Student Affairs. These students shall not support a candidate in any race in which they were a member of the preliminary qualification panel during that election cycle. The final qualification panel shall be composed of 5 members. The current SGA President, a representative of the Senior Vice President for Student Affairs, 3 Auburn University faculty or staff members selected by the Executive Director of Elections. The preliminary Miss Auburn qualification panel shall be composed of 5 members. The current elections advisor, the current SGA Executive Director of Elections, Miss Auburn's Chief of Staff or their designee, 2 students selected by the Executive Director of Elections as approved by the Senior Vice President for Student Affairs. These students should not support a candidate for Miss Auburn during that election cycle. The final Miss Auburn qualification panel shall be composed of 5 members. The current Miss Auburn, the current SGA President, a representative of the Senior Vice President for Student Affairs, 2 Auburn University faculty or staff members selected by the Executive Director of Elections. Read number 1005.6 and 1005.7 to 1005.8 and 1005.9.
Are there any questions? Are there any questions?
So I believe we discussed it briefly in last time. It says should be composed of 5 members. Maybe I'm not counting 5. I think we're missing something.
Right, so after an audit of the code, that was changed improperly and not to edit, but it is, I'm about to say that.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions? All right, if there are no other questions, we'll move into debate. Brandon, as the author, you are allowed the first one.
Yes. I move to amend 1005.4.3, change 2 to 3, and change the number 2 to the number 3.
A motion has been made. Do you have a second? Will someone please let Carter in? All right, it is moved and seconded to adopt the motion. Is there any debate?
DeBoer Graduate School, DeBoer Graduate School, I guess I don't think that we need to amend this considering it's already in the code as 3 students, at least what I'm looking at that.
I can answer. It would just need to be amended here because what the bill says will be fine with the code. So if it was listed incorrectly, we have to list it. Brandon, was that accurate?
That's correct.
Okay, that's good. Is there any further debate on the amendment? All right, seeing none, we'll move into a vote. All those in favor of passing this amendment, as Brandon just spoke, please say aye and comment yes into the Zoom chat. Jet tells me the ayes have it and the amendment is passed. Is there any further debate?
I move to amend.
I think you can make another amendment. Yes.
I move to amend, and I provided the amendment to Jamie, but it'll read. Keep up the document. So, I move to amend and strike the original 1005.6. Well, no, that wasn't right. To add a stricken 1005.6 and 1005.7 and re-add them.
Will someone tap that? Brad's on it. Brad's on it. Continue, Brandon. Ignore it if you can.
Okay, but basically this isn't actually an addition, but this reflects the correct syntax that we would use for putting something above existing code legislation or code verbiage. So what's listed is the original 1005.6 and 1005.7, and then at the bottom of the bill is the relocated 1000, the new 1005.8 and 1005.9.
A motion has been made to amend this bill. I don't think you need to read it. Brandon, just. Somebody should have tapped it. Which is what I said. From the beginning.
I moved to a recess.
Yeah, a motion has been made for a recess. Is there a second? All those in favor of recess, please say aye. Aye. All right, I'll allow a 5-minute recess. All right, everyone, please take your seats. I'll wait for everyone to take their seats. There's only one microphone now because my lapel is not working. No longer connected. So please, for all the presenters of legislation, use the microphone to the left. Actually, Brandon, if you want to just come move to the right, that way they're good up. All right, has everyone returned? I was waiting for hope. We can just begin. I'll begin.
Bells for Liberal Arts, I withdraw the previous amendment. So, as a point of debate, I just want to state what happened with the bill so you guys can understand like what's going to happen if it were to pass. Basically, there was where in the code there's already a 1005.6 and 1005.7. When I added the second part about preliminary Miss Auburn and final Miss Auburn, I did not above list the existing 1005.6 and 1005.7, strike it out, and then move it to the bottom. So I didn't strike out the existing 1005.6 and 1005.7 and then move it to the bottom. Instead, I just put renumber, so that kind of makes it unclear for whenever, if it were to pass, for Jamie to actually go in and edit the official code. And so, if it were to pass, we're going to sit together and basically work on that. But she has a version that is what it would have looked like if it had been presented in the correct format, but we just missed that through all the different layers we passed through.
The content is exactly the same.
That's basically the process.
Is there any further debate?
Sullivan Engineering, I move to amend this bill to both in 1005.4 and 1005.5, where it says preliminary qualification manual, file qualification manual, to state SGA preliminary qualification manual and SGA final qualification manual. The way it currently reads, this bill is intended to separate the Miss Auburn interview process from the current SGA interview process. So anytime that there is more than 5 candidates for a specific role, there's an interview process to narrow it down to 5 rather than on the public ballot. I believe with the current wording, it's really hard to read that in the way it's intended. I think it's a great bill. I think it's doing good stuff. I just think 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, if someone that wasn't sitting in this room and wasn't part of the conversation we've been having tries to read this, then they might get a little bit lost in the verbiage. So my suggestion is to add SGA preliminary qualification manual and then SGA final qualification manual.
A motion has been made for an amendment. Is there a second? It is seconded. Is there any debate? Oh, excuse me.
So say we change this one to the SJ preliminary qualification manual, how would this necessarily affect Miss Homecoming? Would we need to go in and then add an entire other section where it deals with Miss Homecoming preliminary and final qualification manual, or should we go ahead and say the SGA and Miss Homecoming, because it'd be the same thing?
Graf, that's a question for you.
So it's SGA, scroll down, and directly below SGA you have the Miss Auburn qualification preliminary, and then final. So it gives you the SGA process and then the Miss Auburn process.
What about the homecoming one? Because that's still technically involved in this entire section code.
I can just answer that I believe it says Miss Homecoming qualification before it, does it not? I thought I just
I
read
thought
that.
it was included that part. Just for the regular student.
All right. Did that answer your question, Coleman? What Graf responded with? Are there any more questions about Graf's amendment?
Basically large. Has there ever been a situation in the past, I don't know if anybody here can answer that, but has there ever been a race in the past for an SGA position where there have been more than 5 candidates?
I'll let Brad answer that.
Yes, there was a time we had more than 5 students declare to run for SJ president, so we had to do interviews to narrow that down to 5.
Are there any more questions about Graf's amendment? All right, moving to debate. Is there any debate? All right, seeing none, we'll move into a vote. All those in favor of passing Graf's amendment to include SGA, please say aye and comment yes. Aye. All right, Jet tells me the ayes have it. We move to the first amendment proposed, which is not amendment, motion, which is Brandon's motion to pass this bill as written. Is there any further debate? Yes.
Courtesy at large, going back and reading the code as it is right now, not just this specific thing, Miss Homecoming interview shall be conducted for, okay, this completely cuts out the entire preliminary and final qualification panel for Miss Homecoming, just talking about SGA and Miss Auburn.
Brandon.
I agree, and so in line with what Senator Turnseed said to add Miss Homecoming, I agree with that. So I move to amend. And
An amendment has been proposed by Brandon. Is there a second? It is moved and seconded. Is there any questions? Is there any debate? Any debate? Seeing none, we'll move into a vote. All those in favor of passing this amendment, say aye and comment yes. All those opposed, please say no and comment no. All right, the ayes have it, and we will move back to the initial motion. On the floor, which is to pass this bill as written, is there any further debate? All right, we'll move it. Yes.
This is poorly nitpicky. Courtesy at large, I would like to move to amend this bill to change 1005.4 and 1005.5. 1005.5. Vital qualification panels with an S, preliminary qualification panels with an S.
A motion has been made to add S's. Is there a second? Is there any debate? All right, and while Jamie's still typing, I will say if there's no further debate, we'll move into a vote. All of those in favor of passing this amendment, please say aye and comment yes. All of those opposed, please say no and comment no. All right, we move back to the initial motion on the floor. Is there any further debate? Seeing none, we'll move into a vote. All of those in favor of passing this bill as written, please say aye and comment yes. All of those opposed, please say no and comment no. The ayes have it and this bill is passed. We will next move to PSSB 21, excuse me, yes, P22, that's what I was confused. PSSB 22-01-3102, presented by Raymond Belser and authored by Caroline Klein.
Belser Liberal Arts, creation of Miss Auburn as an auxiliary group of the Student Government Association. I ask for approval of the following. Miss Auburn. Miss Auburn shall be organized by one official in the SGA cabinet, hereafter to be referred to as Chief of Staff to Miss Auburn. Chief of Staff to Miss Auburn shall be selected by Miss Auburn and subject to confirmation by 2/3 of the Student Senate following the approval of the SGA President. Miss Auburn is a position elected by the student body and serves as the official hostess of Auburn University. Miss Auburn represents Auburn University internally by executing her platform in effort to motivate and engage students, faculty, and staff. Miss Auburn represents Auburn University externally by displaying its mission, values, and spirit to community, alumni, and prospective students. Miss Auburn serves as an ex officio member of the Warning of Girls of Plainswood, the official host and hostesses of Auburn University. Miss Auburn and Chief of Staff to Miss Auburn shall work to select and appoint a committee composed of a Vice President of Outreach, Vice President of Marketing, and other positions at the discretion of Miss Auburn. Current and former members of Miss Auburn shall not be eligible to run in or support candidates for major candidate elections.
Are there any questions? Excuse me, is there a second?
I move to pass this bill as written.
There we go. Is there a second?
Second.
Are there any questions?
Elizabeth at large, I know we discussed this last week. Did we ever clarify if it was supposed to say current and former members of Miss Auburn's staff or committee, not just Miss Auburn?
I intend to make an amendment to change all of the Miss Auburns to say Miss Auburn.
Are there any further questions?
Managers at large, in the code, is there anywhere that says if you run for maybe treasurer, you're not allowed to run for another major position the next year, or if you run for a major position, are you not allowed to run for that 2 years in a row?
I can answer that and say no. But Brandon can respond. I know Caroline's intent behind that clause, but Brandon, I'll let you answer that.
Yes, and we did sort of, this was a question that did come up last week. This is departure from what it does say for SGA positions. This Auburn is a position that is different for SGA inherently, and this was sort of done as a safeguard in order to prevent this being seen as a stepping ladder for running for Miss Auburn. It would create new precedent if that's kind of the question that you're asking, because in the code it is not state that for any SGA position.
Can you speak up?
Rock engineering, sorry, my voice is gone. Can you elaborate more on what you mean by, I think we talked about last week, but to refresh, what you mean by being a stepping stone in Auburn?
I give my time to this first.
Yes.
So that part of it was more just so if anyone, like a junior, wants to be on the Miss Auburn committee and they get appointed, apply for it, that's just not like, okay, if you get this position in the committee, then like you're pretty much a shoe-in for Miss Auburn. Does that make sense?
Would you ever consider though making a, instead of doing it this way, doing another way where you say, oh, if you're on this Auburn committee, you just disqualify from running for Miss Auburn?
Is that not the same thing?
I know, but what the difference is that, like, say if you're Miss Auburn, but then your term ends in your 5th year, the way I'm reading it blocks you from ever helping with any other campaign anyway. Am I just wrong?
That's correct.
Are there any further questions?
So I understand the intent behind this call, but also the question, what separates being like chief of staff for Miss Auburn, and then deciding to run for Miss Auburn, different from saying, be say, AVP or committee chair for student affairs or something like that, and then running for SGA president, going from a, where you do a similar position, kind of moving up. Similar, even though you're not running for it, but similar to being an AVP of Auburn Answers and then running for EVP of Outreach. While stepping stones aren't necessarily encouraged in this year, it's kind of, there's no precedent against stopping someone from doing a role smaller one year and then stepping into a larger role the next year.
What's your question? All right, that feels like debate to me. All right, are there any further questions? John David.
Matthews at large. You said that this Auburn is a special member of the major candidate elections, not is like a part of SGA. That's why it's an auxiliary group. Why did we say not eligible to run or support all major candidate elections, not just in this Auburn one?
John, you can answer that. Or
What?
currently, Brandon, give this time to Carolyn so Carolyn can answer.
Okay, can you repeat your question?
Yeah. So we're creating this Auburn as an auxiliary group, and then Brandon earlier said that it's not really part of like the SGA, and that the major candidates are a little bit separate than Miss Auburn. So why are we making a Miss Auburn or ineligible to run for any major candidate position? So like, why would they not be allowed to run for president, vice president, or treasurer?
You mean if they're like the 5th year?
Yes.
Has that ever happened before? Miss Auburn that wanted to be president?
I don't know, but I can see a possibility. I got very slim on it.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't think that they should be able to run for something in SGA after they do their year at Miss Auburn. I think it would be kind of an unfair advantage and would push them way above anyone else, and I think it would be confusing, and I would want to keep the separation between Miss Auburn and SGA since it's going to be an auxiliary group. Sorry, I don't really.
Does that answer your question? Are there any further questions? Yes.
You had said you wanted to add in staff like a minute later. Why, if a sophomore is on your staff, why could they not support an independent in your junior year? That's kind of my question. Is why would that stop someone from just supporting someone?
Why would it stop someone from?
Yeah, so like if I'm a sophomore and I want to be on the staff for this Auburn, why can I no longer for us make through Auburn support major candidates? Because I was on staff as a sophomore.
I I mean, the hope would be for it to be an upperclassman position, like sophomores typically wouldn't get it. It would just be a junior, senior thing. And I still, I mean, even if you're a sophomore and you do it, I think you have an affiliation with the group, that I would just want it to stay with Miss Auburn and not be, with SGA major candidates. So, I think since I have to stay neutral, as Miss Auburn with all SGA major candidates, I think the whole committee should follow suit. So, does that answer your question?
Yeah.
I mean, do you have anything else with it? I feel like I didn't answer your question.
Yeah, good question for sure.
Okay.
While I ask if there are any more questions, please don't forget to stand and say your name and college. Are there any more questions?
Solid engineering. I know we talked about last week. Did you come up with any alternatives, or are you planning to move forward with 604.1, where Ms. Auburn is essentially allowed to choose one member and one cabinet?
Brandon can answer that, but I can also reference the point he just made that he has amendments proposed that he can't make because we're not in debate yet.
Right, and also based on, because we have to remember, I mean, I'm sponsoring this legislation, but Caroline served in the position and the role, and this is sort of something that's been indicated that would be useful to maintain the independence of Miss Auburn while also ensuring that she has a little bit of connectivity to SGA. And so I wouldn't support an amendment personally that strikes that 604.1 and 604.1.1, but if a senator made that amendment, that would be okay.
Are there any more questions? All right, seeing none, we'll move into debate. Brandon, as the author, you have the first point of debate.
Bells for liberal arts. I don't really have much more to say than that, because some people probably have some points. I do want to first move to make an amendment. Everywhere where it says Miss Auburn, add the word committee after it. In 604.
It was that, okay, is there a second? All right,
Committee will be capitalized.
seeing a second, are there any questions or debate?
Yes. Not all 604. We'll leave a second. And 604. Oh, and in the chapter.
It will not be underlined in the code. I'm just doing that because the whole thing is red, and you'll know when answer things are red, so this is how it's red.
There's still.
Are there more?
Yes, because the chief of staff is on 604.1.
Everyone please don't speak.
Where else?
And then I believe the bottom there's.
Where bottom?
If you just scroll through that, I don't know.
Bottom bottom?
That's all.
Is there any debate? Seeing none, we'll move into a vote. All of those in favor of passing this amendment, please say aye and comment yes. All of those opposed, please say no and comment no. Jed tells me the ayes have it, and the amendment is passed. We move back into debate. Is there any further debate?
Block engineering, I moved to this bill, and strike and former usage of 4.4.
Is there a second?
Just strike and former, so it should just say current members of the Social Security. Not the only board members support candidates for the elections.
Seeing a second, are there any questions? Is there any debate? Yes.
Okay, yeah, just honestly, this is all about what she was talking about. I don't think it's
Please,
fair.
no talking.
I don't think it's fair for a sophomore that wants to go to this Auburn committee to be pretty much banned from ever supporting any major election ever. What's that do for the rest of the building? But I just wanted to fix that whole. I understand the mission behind it, but unless I would love for the classes to be this Auburn committee as well, but unless we clarify it, we can't.
Is there any further debate? And Kellen, you're allowed to respond if you'd like.
I think that's an easy fix, so that sounds right to me.
Is there any further debate? Seeing none, we'll move into a vote. All those in favor of amending this bill as Riley just listed, please say aye and comment yes. All those opposed, please say no and comment no. The ayes have it and the bill is amended. We move back into debate. Is there any further debate? Yes, John David.
Matthews at large, I propose to strike committee 604.4.
Is there a second? I don't know why there would be. I don't think I heard a second. Is there any further debate? Yes.
The board graduate school, just looking at the codes, I apologize for going this was the last one. I'd like to move to amend 604, the chapter title, to just Miss Auburn.
Is there a second? Seeing a second, we'll move into debate. Would you like to provide some reasoning behind that?
Yeah, so I was looking at it, and 601 is Auburn University mascot, since it's describing Miss Auburn and Miss Auburn committee, just to follow suit with the rest of chapter 600.
Thank you. Is there any further debate? Good eye. Seeing no further debate, we'll move into a vote. All those in favor of passing Ms. DeVore's amendment as just listed, please say aye and comment yes. All of those opposed, please say no and comment no. The ayes have it. Moving back to the initial motion on the floor to pass this bill as written. Is there, oh wait, yes, is there any further debate?
Solid engineering, so, I know in questioning other times, and last week I brought this point, but really, what strikes me about this bill is giving Ms. Auburn the power to select one member of cabinet. There is no other instance kind of within SGA in which one person is allowed to pick someone they want to give in cabinet. Now there is, in Auburn, there is a committee that is allowed to select members of cabinet that is outside of SGA. However, it is composed of advisors and a couple other people, and so they as a unit pick someone for SGA cabinet. I think it's kind of unprecedented to give Ms. Homecoming the power to select just one person. I think a possible solution would be to make it some sort of committee composed of Ms. Auburn, or I guess the former Ms. Auburn at that point, former Ms. Auburn, current Ms. Auburn advisors, something like that. I was thinking another solution would be just to Miss Auburn director that was chosen by SGA exec in a similar fashion to every other director position in SGA cabinet, and then kind of letting Miss Auburn choose her own chief of staff just because that is a big position. And so I think that would be a nice bridge, and that would be a position chosen by SGA, and then kind of working with people that are only chosen by Miss Auburn, which would give that bridge. I understand the need of keeping kind of Miss Auburn independent. I don't remember exactly what year Senator Russell said that Miss Auburn got it. I know it's been around for just about forever. So it's a very important position, very independent position. My only concern is that, like, if you really do want to keep it so independent, as in that you can't have any SGA oversight, then why are you trying to become an SGA auxiliary? Sorry. And so those are kind of the points I have. It's not specifically an amendment because I don't want to take like the power into my own hands. I think as never having served as Miss Auburn, nor have ever been on the Miss Auburn committee, I don't have kind of the most insight, but kind of from the SGA side and the way that we operate and the way we need to continue to operate, keep things fair, keep things equitable, but also kind of make it the best possible solution. Those are just a couple ideas I had. Open to any amendments based off those ideas. Anything like that. So,
Either Brandon or Caroline can respond.
Yeah, so I loved your first idea of just having a committee to pick the chief of staff, so for Miss Auburn, current Miss Auburn, advisor, someone else. I think that's a great idea. Your last point of just your question, I guess, of why would I want to have any involvement with SGA but still keep it separate? There were many times this year where I felt like I had no idea what was going on because I've never been in SGA before. Even in Senate, like last week, apparently I spoke out of term. I don't even know what that means. So I think having someone in the Miss Auburn committee who really knows how SGA works and knows like, hey, I can pass a bill or I can request funding. That's why I'm here in February, like the week of campaign week. I just figured out that I can that I can pass a bill, and I had no idea I could do that. So if I had someone right off the bat who was like, you can do this, this, and this, request this funding for this event, that would have been so helpful for me and would have pushed me miles and miles and miles ahead of where I am now. So that would be my main reason of having some sort of SGA liaison. I support SGA events, I go to SGA events. That's a big part of my role too. So I still want to be involved and support SGA and be in the know, but also be able to do my own thing as well. So if that answers your question, but I do love your first idea of having that panel. But also too, I do think that since Ms. Auburn is an elected by the student position, that I think the students should have some level of trust. Like I trust this person to put a great chief of staff into SGA cabinet, and they do have to be confirmed, I believe, right, by the Senate. So that is some sort of checks for Ms. Auburn. And I feel like it would be very clear if someone who was in that position that shouldn't be in the position was, and Senate has the power to deny that too. So.
Bells for liberal arts, which is what I would like to add to that is that Miss Auburn elected by a plurality, selecting somebody that also then has to be approved by somebody that was elected by a majority and then passed with 2/3 of the student senate is a very high bar to pass for any person coming through. You have to go through 2 members elected by the students, which is a higher bar than you have to go through, or honestly kind of an equal bar that you have to go through to confirm somebody to SGA exec. And so I think that this kind of is enough of a test of whether or not somebody can fulfill that role. But that's really hard to get my time to.
I also think too, like just going back and putting myself into the next person's shoes. If I was presenting someone to SGA Senate and this is like my first big thing is Miss Auburn, I would make sure it's an amazing person who gets passed. Like I wouldn't just put up one of my buddies. So.
All right. As I ask if there's any further debate, because we're still on the main motion to pass this bill as written, I remind everyone, back from flash from the past, that the way Kaylee and I chose to interpret Robert's rules is that any senator may speak twice on a singular motion. So if you've spoken twice on this motion, you no longer can speak. Mr. Ward.
Civil Water Graduate School, just kind of debate regarding the, for example, and I know that this isn't the same, but I think of, had in mind the executive vice president for cabinet, we're talking about a cabinet position that's being selected. There's nothing in the code of laws that says anything about a panel for selecting those executive vice presidents, and so I guess that whole process, and I'm not saying something in the context of an SGA major candidate being able to select this. I know that there's convoluted interviews and all of that selection. I understand that.
Is there any further debate? Seeing none, we'll move into a vote. All of those in favor of passing this bill as written, please say aye and comment yes. All of those opposed, please say no and comment no. The ayes have it, and the bill is passed. Up next is PSSB 22013103, presented by Brandon Belser.
Special committee creation, membership, responsibility, legislative authority, and dissolution. I ask for approval of the following. Student Senate Special Committees. A special committee shall be established by the passing of a resolution outlining the intended scope and objectives of the committee, the discretion of the president of the Student Senate. The membership of a special committee shall be constituted of no more than 1/3 of the voting membership of the Student Senate. Senators intending to serve on a special committee shall notify the president pro tempore of the Student Senate of their intent within the time specified by the president of the Student Senate. The membership of a special committee shall be constituted of senators in order of their petition to the president pro tempore of the Student Senate. Membership in a special committee shall be open to other student representatives and can provide expertise or perspective at the discretion of the committee chairperson and subject to approval by the Senate Executive Committee. The voting members of a special committee shall be constituted of voting members of the Student Senate that hold membership in that committee. The chairperson of a special committee shall be the petitioning senator or a senator that indicates interest in the Senate Executive Committee. Meetings of a special committee shall be chosen at the discretion of the chairperson of the committee or the president of the Student Senate. Members of a special committee shall follow the committee absence policy in section 302.2 of the Code of Laws. The presence of 2/3 of the voting members of a special committee shall constitute a quorum. A special committee shall have the right to refer legislation directly to the Senate Executive Committee. Members of a special committee shall work on legislation that is relevant to the purpose of the committee. A special committee shall be dissolved by majority vote of the members of this committee. I move to pass this bill.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, hearing a second, I'll ask are there any questions?
Justin, engineering. So specifically talk about 304.5. I was just curious why you only added 1 day to solve this. Would it be more beneficial to have maybe the board level be allowed to solve that committee?
Both are the words. So originally when I wrote this legislation, there was actually 3 different ways to dissolve committees. And it was only when I took it to the Code of Laws Committee that we determined that the other 2 methods weren't necessary because the burden of creating a special committee is so high that it would be targeted to the point that it would just create legislation until it had no more legislation to create, and it would just sort of dissolve out. It would just kind of fizzle out, and it would just kind of be dissolved. The idea of, and that sort of ties into the reason why you can only have 1/3 of the voting Senate membership, is so that that committee can't just pass legislation on its own. And so that sort of just, I think, again, reflects how these special committees won't really have as much power as any other type of committee. So there's no reason really to put a high bar to dissolve a special committee.
Does that answer your question? Are there any further questions? Yes.
For graduate school, I sent this to Senator Belser beforehand, but just before we get to the debate, it's been an office question.
chair of no more than one committee. But it doesn't state anywhere that there's a required size for each of the committees, and that's just kind of an implied thing that occurs based on the needs of each standing committee. The reason why this bar is set for the special committee is because the burden of creation for a special committee, being 2/3 of the student senate, should warrant enough members that would be interested in the topic, but not enough members to actually pass legislation. You would need, if you wrote a bill, at least a simple majority, and if you wrote a resolution or commendation, at least 2/3. So having 1/3 on a special, even half of a special committee, ensures that you don't get a runaway committee effect where a committee can be too powerful, more powerful than the standing committee. So it's kind of a measure to ensure that they stay as powerful or as weak as however you do that as standing committees.
Any further questions? Seeing none, we'll move into debate. Is there any debate on the motion to pass this bill as written?
For graduate school, I'd like to amend this bill, in 304.1.1, statement passing of the resolution outlining the administrative objectives of the committee. At the end of that sentence, having, the 304.1.1. At the end of after committee, stating, so the full sentence should state, the passing of the resolution outlining the intended scope and objectives of the committee, outlining a need that transcends one of, that transcends the standing committees. TRANSCEND.
That transcends.
At the standing committees.
Is there a second to this amendment? All right, hearing for a second. Are there any questions? Seeing none, we'll move into debate. Is there any debate? Oh, excuse me, there was a question? Yes.
Organic agriculture, just kind of clarifying with that, if you're on a standing committee and you want to join the special, are you going to have to be from both, or are you now only from the special committee?
Industrial arts, as outlined in the code for all the already existing verbiage for standing committees, you'll have to be a member of a standing committee. Because that's, this is actually an option.
Are there any further questions? Seeing none, move into debate. Is there any debate on the amendment at hand?
The Board of Graduate School. So again, I sent this over to Senator Belzer. It just to clarify, I guess, stating.
Please listen to what she's saying.
Maybe it's already obvious, but I believe that it's something that committee that specifically is beyond what one committee is doing. Maybe it's something that has been discussed before with Senator Belzer in the past. Something going through PEI that maybe should have gone through federal laws, and so maybe it's some connection with those. So I figured that would be part of that argument and makes it open.
Is there any further debate? All right, seeing none, we'll move into a vote. All those in favor of approving Mr. Vore's amendment, please say aye and comment yes. All those opposed, please say no and comment no. Thank you. The ayes have it. And the amendment is passed. Going back to Brandon's initial motion to pass this bill as written, is there any further debate? Yes.
I move to amend this board.
All right.
For 304.5, can we just add at the very end of the sentence,
Is there a second?
Yeah, of course, it's like, or by majority vote of this.
Or by majority or by a majority?
A majority vote.
Majority vote of the,
Student Senate. Seeing a second, are there any questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
Seeing as that in special committee creation, the burden of senators to create a special committee is 2/3, do you think it would be better suited to have 2/3 there instead of a majority as well?
My belief to that is that while it must be harder to introduce committees into the body, there needs to be easy access to dissolve. So,
Those for liberal arts. I have a further question. Is that an insinuation then that the senators can decide that they don't like a committee and dissolve it after, like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, is that an insinuation that they can pass this high bar and then decide to dissolve it because they don't like the work that's being done with that committee?
what we could do is, I feel like by introducing this amendment, I'm hoping for an additional backstop in rules. So if you suggest having 2/3, then I wouldn't mind going with 2/3.
All right. Well, currently, this is what we must now ask if there's any debate on, is the current amendment, which is or by a majority vote of the Student Senate. So if there is no further debate, I'll ask to move a vote on the current amendment. Is there any further debate? All right. Seeing none, all those in favor of amending this bill as listed, please say aye and comment yes. All those opposed, please say no and comment no. The noes have it. Jamie, if you could remove that. Moving back into debate, is there any further debate? Yes.
Matthews at large, I propose to amend this bill, amendment 304.5, and add after committee or by a majority vote of the Senate Executive Committee.
Yes, before. Yes, before.
yeah,
I literally don't know what anyone's saying to me. So
do we need 2/3 or the majority? For what?
For
that
what?
amendment?
2/3.
There was
Point of order. I thought amendments were something different. Or point of inquiry, aren't amendments not something different?
I will check to make sure. If we could refrain from chattering, we'll keep the checks. We believe it's 2/3. There's only 30. So that's why the 2/3 is, I believe, a little skewed, if that's confusion. So I believe before someone interjected with that, we were on a current amendment. Is there a second to John David's amendment?
Usually repeat that sometimes.
Sure.
I don't know if there's anybody remember it. But after committee adds or by majority vote of the Senate Executive Committee. This just, I like James' point of adding a second way of terminating it. The simple majority was a little confusing since having it added is by 2/3. And I think the Senate Executive Committee is that checks and balances within the Senate. I think that the Senate Executive Committee, they lead these standing committees, and they will be leading students who are in the special committee, be able to talk to them one-on-one each week at their meeting, getting updates. And I think that would be the right amount of checks and balances where it's not a simple majority can say, oh, I don't like this research that they're doing, and I think this is the perfect checks and balances by adding a second way of terminating the special committee.
Are there any questions? Yes.
So it's an engineering. For that majority vote for the executive committee, would that involve the special committee head or actions?
That would just be the same.
Are there any further questions? Yes.
Williams Engineer. Ooh, I'm not an engineer. Yikes. Williams Sciences. So is this saying that since the special committee head won't have a seat at the executive table, is this saying that Senate exec could just one day in the committee without saying anything, without it being brought to the floor, or is that what this amendment is trying to say?
This amendment is trying to add a second way of terminating the committee that is not by the actual members of the committee. It's per se that a special committee is created for the honors college, and it does not state in the 304.5 that it's only the voting members of the special committee can terminate the committee. So say every member of the honors college joins this committee and never wants it to be terminated, then they just wouldn't vote to terminate it. This adds another way of terminating the committee if it's already reached its or done its job of researching and pushing forward resolutions. This adds a way of making sure that committee doesn't become another runaway committee, as Brandon said before, and have too much power on just staying in there and not just serving its purpose. This makes it where it serves its purpose and then has a leeway of ending the committee.
Are there any further questions? Seeing none, we'll move into debate.
Solid engineering, I'm just gonna say that I do not agree with this amendment. Kind of the whole point of a special committee is the fact that they do represent, not necessarily a minority issue, but a specific issue that doesn't fall into one of our broad categories. So let's say like honors college. It's like a very centralized issue, and so we don't want, not that this can happen, we don't want there to be a way for this committee kind of get bullied out of existence. With a majority vote, it takes, or 2/3 majority vote to make them, it takes 22 people. With this vote, it would take 3 to get rid of them. So say there's 3 people in one exec that just, they want their meetings to be a little bit shorter, so they don't want to have an extra committee report every week. I hope we don't ever have an exec that acts like that. However, we can't go in this expecting that 3 people aren't going to say, I'll pass. With that, on the same kind of point, I do agree both with Senator Justin and Senator Belzer. Well, more so, the amendment to make it a 2/3 vote. I do see Senator Matthews' concern that yes, perhaps someone could make a honors college committee, and that's great. They do a lot of great work, and then all of a sudden they're not getting anywhere, and they get upset, and they use their standing committee, time during the Senate to filibuster as a sort of punishment or some sort, and so they get their way. And at that point, you're like, okay, they're wasting. It kind of becomes clear to everyone that this is just a waste of time. So with a 2/3 majority, that would require a 1/3 of the Senate floor swing, going from positive to negative towards the committee. I think it would take a lot of negative action by that
Thank you, Graf. Is there any further debate? Please, everyone, if we give our full attention to the floor, we can move through. Is there any further debate? All right, seeing none, we'll vote on the current amendment proposed. All of those in favor of amending this bill as listed, please say aye and comment yes. All of those opposed, please say no and comment no.
No.
The noes have it. We move back to the initial motion on the floor from Brandon to pass this bill as written. Is there any further debate?
I move to amend. And after of the committee in 304.5 had or by two-thirds vote of the students.
Is there a second? Seeing a second, are there any questions? Seeing no questions, I will ask for debate. Is there any debate? All right, seeing none, we'll move into a vote. All of those in favor of amending this bill as written, please say aye and comment yes. All of those opposed, please say no and comment no. The ayes have it and the bill is amended. Moving back to the initial motion, is there any further debate? All right, seeing none, we'll move into a vote. All of those in favor of passing this bill as written, please say aye and comment yes. All of those opposed, please say no and comment no. All right, the ayes have it, and the bill is passed. That will conclude current orders for the evening, and we will now move into future orders, beginning with PSSR 22020701, presented by Ms. Elizabeth DeVore from the Graduate School.
DeVore Graduate School. Auburn University's UVU prioritize equitable graduate mentorship. Whereas graduate students are essential to all aspects of Auburn University's mission as a land-grant institution to improve the lives of people of Alabama, the nation, and the world through education, research, scholarship, and service. And whereas Auburn University earned the designation as Very High Research and Activity R1 label of the Carnegie Classification of Institutions of Higher Education in December 2018, which requires the university to have conferred at least 20 research/scholarship doctoral degrees mapping 4 disciplinary clusters: humanities, social science, STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics fields, and other fields, e.g. business, education, public policy, social work. And whereas support and emphasis of mentorship for graduate faculty and students varies greatly by program, department, and college/school at Auburn University based on the needs, background, and goals of individuals. And whereas a study published in Nature Biotechnology in 2018 with 2,279 respondents, 90% PhD students and 10% master's students representing 26 countries and 234 institutions, found that graduate students are more than 6 times as likely to experience depression and anxiety as compared to the general population, notably prevalent for those students who are transgender, gender nonconforming, and women, and indicated that strong, supportive, and positive mentoring relationships between graduate students and their advisors correlate significantly with less anxiety and depression. And whereas benchmarking with peer institutions and aspirant institutions resulted in 7 comprehensive responses: University of Arkansas, Clemson University, University of Florida, University of Missouri, University of North Carolina, University of Tennessee, and Texas A&M University, and concluded that all of these institutions have implemented or plan to implement some type of graduate faculty and or faculty-student mentoring training program. And whereas Auburn University has an institutional membership to the National Center for Faculty Diversity and Development, which offers workshops for empowering and developing mentorship for graduate students and faculty. And whereas Auburn University Graduate Student Council has coordinated the first year experience FYE peer mentorship program since fall 2018 to assist first-year graduate students in their transition to life at Auburn University with the aid of peers. And whereas in a survey of Auburn University graduate students with 261 responses spanning all colleges and schools, 100 master's/MS 5PharmD/DVM. Comments vary widely in the level of support, reliability, and communication students receive from their advisors, committee members, and other faculty at Auburn University. And whereas the development and success of graduate students are essential to all facets of the 6 goals that are outlined in Auburn University's 2019-2024 strategic plan, which includes elevated Auburn experience, transformative research, impactful service, exceptional and engaged faculty and staff, strategic enrollment, and operational excellence. Therefore, let it be resolved that we, the Auburn University Student Senate, recognize the need and benefits to support graduate faculty and student mentorship to aid in meeting the goals and mission of Auburn University, and therefore, let it be further resolved that we, the Auburn University Student Senate, recognize the importance of mentorship for graduate faculty and students, and request Auburn University colleges, schools, and administration prioritize graduate faculty and student mentorship in university and college/school level planning. CC the university president, the provost, and all of the deans of the colleges and schools at Auburn.
Are there any questions? All right, thank you, Elizabeth. We'll move on to PSSB 22020701, presented by Reese Lisenby.
Lisenby at large. I ask for the approval of the following: the allocation of $895 from the Program Expansion Fund to the line item titled Miss Auburn to the Student Government Association of the Government Student Activity Portfolio. This increase in funds will allow for the funding of the Meet Miss Auburn event, where the newly elected Miss Auburn will be on the concourse passing out food and meeting students. This event will also serve as a transition event for the new Miss Auburn before her official installation. The amounts will be allocated among the following categories as shown: Chick-fil-A, $800, Miss Auburn promotion items, $75, mini water bottles, $20.
Are there any questions? Yes.
I yield my time to Carol now.
I just wanted this to be like a new thing for the weird transition time from call-outs to the official installation, because I think it would just be a good like transition event of the current Miss Auburn while she's still in office working with the new Miss Auburn. They're both doing this event together. Miss Auburn is out in the concourse, being a visible face on campus for people to see their new Miss Auburn. And yep, do you have any questions?
Yeah, are there any further questions? All right. Thank you. We'll now move on to PSSB 22020702, presented once again by Reese Lisenby.
That's fine. Okay. I ask for the approval of the following: the allocation of $2,000 from the Program Expansion Fund to the line item titled Special Events, Chinese New Year, Food and Beverage, to the University Program Council of the Programming Student Activity Portfolio. This increase in funds will allow for the funding of a buffet from the Irritable Bow with a variety of Chinese dishes for approximately 200 students to enhance the event and cultural celebration. The restaurant will charge $10 per student for the buffet. The approval of these funds would allow UPC to offer a more robust celebration and educational experience of a significant holiday in the Chinese culture for all Auburn students.
Thank you. Are there any questions? And the event is tomorrow. All right. This concludes our future orders for the evening. Let me just say very brief things before we adjourn. Number one is that I will be communicating more final details on kind of our transitions in my recap email. So what I mean by that is what's going to happen at the next Senate meeting, and then thereafter in regard to us switching our seats for those who might be getting reelected to stay in your seat, which is pretty crazy to say. It's been a great year. I'll have a lot more to say at the next meeting, but just quick updates is that link will be sent again in the in a recap email as well, and you can continue to sign up for office hours. It was already sent in the reminder email today, so if you want to complete a dining office hour. Thank you all for your kind wishes. My surgery went very, very well. And so I find out in like 3 months if it really did end up working, but I feel like it did, and my recovery's going well as well. And then this week, if you want to keep me in your thoughts, my interview with UAB Medical School is this Thursday morning. Good week. Good week. Other than that, Kyla already left, but it was her birthday, so send her your birthday wishes. And with that, this meeting is adjourned. Be safe, be smart.